and welcome back to Behind the Scenes. This is a podcast where we discuss the behind the scenes process of creatives who are trying to make their mark in the industry, focusing on what they've done so far, what's worked, what hasn't, with the hopes that those who are following in their footsteps, they have some guidance when they're entering this industry. Today's guest is Irene. Hello, Irene.
Hey.
How are you today, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, you know. I'm having a good day, so I'm very much good. And that's all the introduction I'll do. You know, she's gonna take away and describe herself. She's awesome. She is just an artist as in general. So please, Irene, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Irene. I'm 23. I don't know what to say.
Your name's Irene. You're 23. You were a YouTuber in some form. You create content.
I'm on
Jack of all trades.
TikTok now, as of my first isolation period. Instagram now. People just tend to gravitate towards me for some reason.
Yes. For some reason, no, you have an infectious energy. Like, even before you were doing YouTube, I remember, because I'm not a Twitter person, but my younger sister would be like, isn't this your friend Irene that's getting so and so many tweets, or that's creating so and so conversation? And I'm like, yeah. So you have an interesting aura that people, they want to be a part of. And that's why you're here today, yeah. Because you're interesting. Right, so before we get started into the interview, I like to do what I call this an icebreaker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you a quick 5 questions. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and you answer them quickly with the first thing that comes to your mind. Yeah? Okay. So it's all about vulnerability, but it's all about safe space as well. So you answer as in depth as you want, and you won't be poked or prodded. Okay?
Okay, cool.
Okay. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, if you could change one thing about the internet, what would it be?
Oh, okay. The first that came to mind was to let people move on from their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that in relation to cancel culture. I think that there are people who you can see that they've changed, and like there's no need to keep condemning them. And then there are people that repeat offend. I feel like the people that you can see that they've changed should be given a lot more lenience, and those that repeat offend should be given a little bit of grace and also some time away from the internet so they can actually grow.
Yeah, 100%. I do hear that, because I feel like if you don't let somebody grow, then what's the point? What's the point of self-development? What's the point of changing? What's the point of, you know, growing as an adult if you're gonna still judge them in the same lens that was 20 years ago? Do you know what I mean? Exactly. So yeah. That is a very good one. And the next question is, what's one thing you miss about school?
Oh,
me.
It shouldn't be. Funnily enough, I was gonna say the friends and the banter. I was gonna say this shouldn't be the reason, but it would definitely be the friends and the banter. It's like, and we had it outside of school as well. So it wasn't just, you know, some friends, they see each other in school, and then that's when they leave school, that's where it ends. Now we were all tight, like outside, we were having conversations outside of school. I miss that. Sometimes as adults, you go to work, you come home, you just talk to your family, that's it.
Yeah. You know, it's like, especially when you're getting into some mischievous activities, isn't it? When was the last time you were truly vulnerable?
Oh, not too long ago, actually. I would say, I can't remember the exact time. I don't even remember when I was posted on my YouTube that I'm having a low week. I would say then, because I had a conversation with someone and I was just being, but then again, okay, it's hard to say because I'm very open as a person, but I'm not vulnerable as a person.
Yeah.
So I can be very honest, very transparent, and matter of fact, this is what's going on, this is how I feel. But then to express it and to be in my emotions, that's what I class as vulnerability. So I would say vulnerable.
Yeah.
I would say maybe last year, maybe like September, October time. Yeah, that's when I was last vulnerable.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and if you would have just lost everything, money, house, a job, who would be the first person you'd call?
My big sister, Linda. I think you and I both know my
sis.
sister Linda is a superhero, right? So I'm running straight to her house.
You're not even calling her. You're like, taxi man, straight into MK.
I'm like, what food is at home, man? Like, I ain't got nothing. I'm coming over.
I love that. I love that. See, that wasn't that bad, was it? People get scared of my icebreaker. Yeah, get into your feelings a little bit. Loosen up. Right. So let's get into it. And I mean, first thing I want to know is when and why did you first start YouTube or creating content? Because you're not just on YouTube.
In terms of YouTube, I think the date on there is from like 2016, maybe 2017-ish. But I started being more like, there's content on there from like 2018 when I went to Ghana and like here and there. But I started being more consistent with it last year. I would say April time, when obviously we're in lockdown. I was like, okay, I'm still going to work, but I still have like a bit more availability. I don't have to go to church, I don't have to go to anywhere else kind of thing. So the free time I used to create content and then post them up. The why, I would say it was like my little community of friends, like everywhere, family, that were just kind of saying, you know, your personality bangs, put it on the internet kind of thing. From Snapchat, I would have like I'd be like, hi guys, welcome to my Snapchat channel. I'd sit in my uni room, get my Primark bag in and be showing everyone what stuff I got for my hair on my Snapchat. People would be like, your snaps are too long, make a YouTube channel. And I'm like, okay, guys, fine. Another reason for I
love how they're like, your Snapchat's too long. It's not that we're not going to watch it, but it's the wrong platform.
Yeah.
Like, I want quick stories. Go on YouTube and then I'll watch you for 10 minutes.
That's right. And I had a lot of that. Because I was cooking on there, like, my Snap stories were long.
I remember, I don't know if it was on Snapchat, but I do remember your cooking series on there. Do you remember?
La cuisine catastrophe.
Yes, I think you brought it onto Instagram, didn't you?
Yeah,
I did. That's when I saw it, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, I did. That's why I cook and I make mistakes, but it ends up okay.
Yes. it does end up, which I was proud but ashamed. I'm like, hello, number one, you grew up in a full African house. You shouldn't be experimenting. You should already know and just broaden your horizons. And it felt like you were experimenting a lot. And I'm like, once you know the basics of seasoning, you should be okay. You know.
But then most of the dishes I was making weren't African dishes.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're just broadening your horizon, but it shouldn't still be experimental. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. You should just be like, I know what seasoning bangs with chicken, and if I'm making a Italian pasta dish, I know what seasoning to use. Do you know what I mean?
So I personally, this is my personal preference for food. Yeah, I do not like using the seasoning I would use for stew to put in my Italian food. I don't like that fusion of culture.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you.
I get you. Like Italian, not the African.
I get you.
I get what you mean, though.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I don't like mixing it with the Asian ones because I feel like it doesn't change the flavor, and then I'm like, this is just stew, but it feels different.
It's a European vibe.
Yeah. And then how easy was it actually to get started? And like, I'm not talking like, equipment wise, like God knows we've all watched those videos where everyone's like, hey guys, you can get started on your iPhone. You don't even need a tripod. But how easy was it actually to be like, I've posted content, I'm going to edit it, and then I'm going to click enter and let go of it. Let it out there.
Okay, so when I actually first started, I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to use iMovie on my phone. I don't think I even had iMovie because I had a normal laptop. Like, I didn't have like a MacBook or anything. So I used to sort of just waffle and just talk and make sure my talking was lasting about 10 minutes. And then whatever came out, that was what's going on.
That was it.
That was it. And then like I started to learn to edit, I would say, when I got my MacBook, which was when, only God knows, when I was in my gap year. So after I came back from Ghana, I think that's when I learned how to edit on my iMovie, on my MacBook, because that's when I started doing chop and all that kind of stuff. I still use iMovie. I tried Final Cut Pro. There's a lot of buttons. I deleted it quietly, and I went back to my iMovie.
I don't like iMovies. I mean, I use either iMovies or Windows Editor. It's the software that came with my HP laptop. But I only last week learned that if I want iMovies to stop cropping my pictures, all I have to do is pinch it. And I was like, I've been suffering, and all I had to do was pinch it. But it's like, it's not user friendly. I'm really
Really?
Yeah, I don't find it user friendly.
To be fair, I do learn new tricks on there like all the time, and I've had this MacBook for almost 3 years now.
There we go.
Or 2 years. So definitely you learn as you go, but it's still better. It's still easier than Final Cut and Adobe and all these big.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I hear Adobe. Anything that demands flash, like, that when you're downloading, is like, this needs to download a flash drive. I'm like, I'm out. You know what I mean? That's very complex. I'm done. I need something basic, something quick, something now.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I started. It just was a quick iPhone 7. I don't even know. I had a tripod, iPhone 7 tripod on, talk for 10 minutes, time myself. When I see the time's getting long, I would start wrapping it up, post, done. And then I started doing chop and clip and all that kind of stuff when I got my MacBook. And then now I'm still doing the same. But with a bit more like, being a bit more careful. So then now when I'm recording stuff, I don't now time myself, but I've recently decided to start writing out what I want to say.
Okay.
So that I don't like waffle too much, because my videos are quite long. So one of my targets is to bring my videos down, which I can do by planning what I'm going to say in the videos, and kind of, so when I'm editing, I can just easily chop out what I didn't plan to say in any way, kind of thing.
Yeah. But I feel like, I mean, did you take sociology in AS? You didn't?
No, psychology.
No, yeah, because I remember us taking psychology together, but I feel like sociology, I learned how to waffle. Like, when do you think you picked that up? Because I feel like in sociology, I learned how to, those 33 markers, you needed to waffle to get it going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But don't you feel like sometimes amongst the waffling, your brain takes you somewhere you didn't think you wanted to go, but it makes sense in the end. Yeah.
Yes. Because my channel, I don't know if it's still there, but in the description of my channel, it literally says a place for me to waffle freely. And that's exactly, like, that has been there since like 2018. I think it's still there. And so occasionally, I was meant to do Waffle Wednesdays.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
Yeah. My nieces were like, you should make some waffles and eat them on Waffle Wednesdays. And I was just like, smart little girl.
Yeah, although that would get expensive, it would get expensive because oil has gone up. I don't know if anybody's clocked, but oil prices have gone up, and I ain't happy.
See, I don't shop.
So in regards to like your YouTube, and you talk about goals, like you want one of your goals to be that you're very much direct and you have a point in when it comes to your content. Do you set yourself goals often? Is that one of the things you do?
So it's a bit weird. I don't have like a timetable for goal setting. I do it once at the beginning of the year, and then I would like randomly check up on myself to see where I'm at. Took off any goals that I might have done, anything that I've forgotten about, I might bring to the front. But it's not like maybe at the end of each month or every 3 months. It's just literally random. Whenever I feel a bit lost or I feel a bit down, I go back to my goal board and I'm like, okay, ground myself. Where am I at? What can I focus on to sort of feel like I'm doing something? So it's just kind of as and when, but definitely once a year, at the beginning of the year, I set pace. And then, I haven't really looked back at it since I made it though, which was in January. So
because it's been a month. Give some time.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, it's March so.
So give some time. You're still good, girl. You good.
Yeah.
But do you think that's important as a whole? Like, people talk about making a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, or saying, oh, by the end of the year, I want to reach 100 subscribers, or I want my content to reach this demographic. Do you think that's important, being intentional in the way you want your channel to go, or do you just sort of let it take you, like we said, when it comes to waffling, let it take you where it takes you, and you sort of end up finding yourself?
To be honest, it's hard to say because I'm someone that does both. I wing it heavily. I'm heavily winging it, but then I also do have my goals at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the last born in me because I'm the last child of the family, but yeah. So
you've got the foundation to wingle it. To wing it. Do you know what I mean?
Not content creation, but like
not the content, but in life. Yeah.
So it's like I kind of plan it because I've now decided at work I'm gonna do 3 on 3 off. So I know I have 3 days to create content, edit content, get content out there. But then the ideas come as and when. I might record something and then change my mind. So in that aspect, I'm winging it. But then in the aspect of like structured, like the logistics is planned. Yeah. But then the creativity, you can't plan creativity. I don't think you can anyway.
No, you can't. Yeah.
Literally. So it's a bit of both. But I do think it is important to have some goals because it gives you drive. It helps you to celebrate the small celebrations, because when you don't do that, you don't feel accomplished, and you end up in a really dark spot, and you won't be able to see that, oh, you gained 200 here, whatever, however many here, people are reaching out to you here, but all you're focusing on is the fact that you're 2 followers off your goal at the end of the year, but you're not celebrating everything else. So I do think it's important to set goals so you can celebrate the small victories, but then also relax so you can enjoy the process as well.
Yeah, wow, thank you for that. Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think that's even as much as important as it is in content creation, as well as outside, just in life in general. Like, I really feel like I'm very critical when it comes to my own life, and people are like, oh, Naomi, you've done so, you did that so, and I'm like, no, actually I should have done this, and I just ended up, do you know what I mean, like minimizing my own goal, and then I end up, like you said, being in a dark spot. And it's so comfortable to be in a dark spot. Like, don't you find it? It's very comfortable to be low and just be in your room and be dark and be boom, as opposed to trying to strive for what you can. And that's why I always tell people, don't compare yourself. Like, you should be in your own classroom and in your own lane. And people are like, I'm in my own lane. I hate that saying, because that's focusing on a goal and almost comparing yourself, where you should be in your own classroom, you're in your own pace, you're learning at your own pace, you're taking the exams when you should be. Do you get what I mean? And you're not even comparing yourself to the Naomi from 2016 or the Naomi from 2000, or even the Naomi from 6 months ago, because she's not the same person. She's not going to be dealing with these things the same way, and she hasn't done as much as you have done now. So I definitely agree with that. Now, so I mean, I've been watching your videos and on YouTube, and I follow you, and you're hilarious across content, whether you're doing mukbangs or whether you're just, like you say, waffling or whether you're lying to us and doing up makeup just to open up a camera. Girl, tell us about that.
Listen,
tell me what comes to mind when you're like, right, I need to post. Is it a what should I do, or is it what comes to mind? Because you have a variety, you know what I mean? Which I love, because I never know what I'm going to get.
So the mukbangs, that's like there to stay. There's always going to be food content. I've always been
you've been loving food. You've been loving food. Yeah. You.
That's just. Yeah. And hair is something because hair.
Well, you know what? You need to stop saying that. I watched a comedy special on Netflix. It's called Comedians Around the World, and there's literally comedians from South Africa to New Zealand, everywhere. And one of them said, I hate when people say they're foodies or they love food, because who doesn't? And I'm like, yeah, man, who doesn't? What do you mean you've been loving food?
No, there are people who say they love food, and then they'll list every single thing that they don't like to eat, and I'm like,
what's left?
Or they'll eat food that's not actually nice, and they'll be like, yes, all right. Is your head all right? Is your mouth all right? No.
Is everything all right at home?
You like being full. That's what you like. You like being full. You don't like food. And there's a difference.
Yeah,
and
there is a difference.
Don't like, a couple of times I like food. But yeah, with the content, so I think the time when I did the camera one, did I go to work? I think I went to work that day. I was just it was a watch. It was my watch unboxing. You're right. Yes. I think I was isolating potentially, so I've isolated 3 times now. And every time
just say, sorry, just cut it off. Can I just say that when I saw that, because obviously you had your hair up really nice, and I think you had faux locks, and you had that dress, and I'm thinking, this girl's going to a really bougie funeral, Like, she really knows. Because you had been in a music video after this. We'll talk about that later. But you had been in a music. So I'm like, Irene's made it and she's going to a really bougie funeral. That's the only reason for her to look like that in black, right? Or something tragic has happened. Like, and then it was a watch unboxing. I was like, but I love your dedication. I love your dedication. Like, I love the dedication.
I feel like this watch. Okay.
Oh, okay, please can we get a bit of a close up of the watch? This is, ladies and gentlemen, I'll link the video. Of the
This is the Vitae
very
watch.
pretty, very beautiful.
This is a Ghanaian owned brand. Okay,
Oh,
I wanted
wow.
one of these watches.
Can we get the name?
It's Vitae, Vitae.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I've seen it on Instagram.
Yeah, they're everywhere, like Instagram and Twitter. I don't know about everywhere else.
Okay,
but
yes.
I've wanted one of these for like years, literally, like maybe 2-3 years now. I was waiting for a nice man to come and buy me a watch. I don't think I put the subtitles on the video, but I was translating as I was speaking, and I was like,
yeah,
I've been waiting for a nice man to come and buy me this watch, but now that I'm here and I'm working, I thought, you know what? F the man. I'm gonna buy the watch myself.
Independent woman, like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Come on.
In the video, I'm saying, you know, we want to make our own money and buy our own stuff, but we want to be the people that could buy them for us if we wanted to.
Exactly. It should be an add-on. You know what I mean? Your man buying us thing is an add-on.
Exactly.
If he was to go, you can still rock this watch.
Period. But yeah, so I've isolated 3 times, right?
Yeah.
So every time I isolate, that's when the content will be, you'll be seeing me like posting, because I will bulk create, knowing that when I go back to work is long. Like this week, for example.
Yeah.
In terms of the ideas, yeah, it's literally when I'll just be doing something and I'll be like, this could be content, and then I'll film it.
Yeah.
Or I'll create something, or I'll be scrolling through TikTok and I'll see something like, I want to do that, and then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for YouTube is a bit hard because I still haven't found my, like, apart from my mukbang Mondays, I haven't found my like solid, well, mukbang Mondays and hair. People are talking about like clothes now. Apparently they like to see me in clothes, so I might try that out. But yeah,
you got the body for it. You could be doing hauls. Like, I would watch you just because you got a body for it. We wouldn't be buying the same thing because I don't think it would fit on you as if it would fit on me. But you're hilarious, and I think that's what people watch you for. They're not necessarily like, we want to watch this video, or I'm gonna go and buy this watch. Yeah, it's the whole process of it. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, like this box on watching, people do on watches all the time, but the fact that you're wearing this as if somebody's you know what I mean, going to this bougie funeral, that's all I can describe it as. Sorry?
The watch is glamorous. It deserved.
Yes, absolutely, it did.
Yes.
It really did. Like, honestly, it made me feel like, oh, right, I should I should wear bougie clothes and then order bougie clothes. Because it's that aura, you know?
Yes.
So is that one of your goals then, to find your solidified sort of content? To be known for something? Yeah,
I mean, I would like to, especially for YouTube. TikTok's easy because anyone can be silly on TikTok. That's my bag. Like, being silly is my bag. Instagram, I can sit there and pose easy. But YouTube is like, I don't know, it's a bit weird to me. People might say, oh, you're too silly, or oh, you're this, that. And I don't really feel comfortable in spaces where I can't be myself. So YouTube, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure like what exactly I'd want to do there out.
Yeah. And actually, do you think, as like, which one do you think is the most welcoming space? So you're big on Insta, you're big on Twitter, you've got TikTok, you've got YouTube, you're also now on, what is that platform that we were discussing the other day? Clubhouse, that's it. You're also now on Clubhouse. Which one do you think is the most inviting platform, would you say, to express yourself?
Depends on, for me personally, I would say TikTok, but for anybody who is socially anxious or wants to break out their shell or just wants to be involved, I think Clubhouse would probably be really good because it bridges a gap. Like, I've been in rooms with Michael Essien, like the football player, Shatawale, like actually spoken to them. And then who else? I don't even know. There's like just rooms like where they're doing auditions for Lion King, all that kind of stuff. And then you can make rooms after and speak to strangers. Like I've made friends on Clubhouse, which I'm planning to like link up with, kind of thing. So,
well, let's talk about this, right? You say, you can be, I don't know footballers, but I'm guessing he's a big footballer. You can be on football with footballers, but is it really anybody? Because now, and I'm not here to say like a sub stories or whatnot, but is it because you're pretty, you're getting into those clubhouses? Do you know what I mean? That you're able to breach those opportunities, because those sound like good opportunities to me, especially if people have like a goal in mind and they want to put themselves forward, being in chats with people of hierarchy in society and bridging that yourself. Do you think you get access to that because you are very attractive? No, so it's just random. Not. Anybody on Clubhouse, my Sally next door can end up on Clubhouse. Yeah,
literally, if you have good vibes, and they recognize you got good vibes, you're there. Now for me personally, I already have platforms outside of Clubhouse. So one of my videos went viral in Ghana, right? So a lot of Ghanaians found my page, my Clubhouse, and they followed me from there. But I also make my own rooms, and people would enter and see that it's always a vibes room. When there's serious topics going on, I will do like, this is the break room. So come and sit for a bit. Let's play a game. Get your mind off the seriousness. And then when you're done, you can go back to your little serious room. And so when they clock your vibes, and then you go into the other rooms, they'll be like, oh, this is this person. She's cool. She's a vibe. Bring her up. You could look like a piece of cake if you wanted to. I usually don't even have myself as a picture. I put an ugly dog because I want to be recognized.
No, that's good. That's good, because I feel like with Instagram and stuff like that, people are like, oh, if your content is good, if you're consistent, but they also discount the fact that you have to be aesthetically pleasing to some extent to have that sort of. Do you get what I mean? I'm not discounting people that have true talent and they don't look, as the media will call them, beautiful. Do you get what I mean? It's just a slower process when you are in that side of the spectrum. So that's what I was wanting to know.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Instagram, because I had to change my whole the way my page looked. I changed the highlights and everything. I had to like archive some pics and stuff like that, and then that all helps like with the aesthetic. But before, I didn't really. I like to be free in life. You know?
I mean, but I'm not gonna lie. Looking at your Instagram now, I do think it is aesthetics, and I say aesthetics like this because I don't think it all comes under that, but it is like an image and the way it's perceived. But at the same time, what I love about you, when I did have Instagram and I did used to follow you, is that there's still a level of quirkiness and there's still a level of you. Do you get what I mean? Whether you're doing like mismatched socks, or you're just literally taking it on your staircases with a window and your hair is like half done. Like, do you get what I mean? It is still like, I'm not conforming 100%. Okay, I'll give you what you want, but I'm still gonna bring a little bit of me into it. Do you get what I mean?
And they get that in my stories. Like, I'll be using the ugliest filters. I'll even go on Instagram live with the ugly filter. With like a snail kind of frog thing, and they'll be like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm having fun.
And do you think it's important to be relatable? Like, is that one of the important things to you? Because that to me is, it's still trying to be relatable. Do you think that's important, especially online?
I mean, I don't try to be relatable, but I do think it helps. But at the same time, sometimes like being really interactive can take a toll on me, because I start to feel bad if I've seen someone and I forgot to reply to them or whatever the case is. But I do think being relatable, if you are looking to go into the social media space, relatability is very good. People love to be able to feel like, someone who is where they want to be is experiencing the same troubles, or is like just in some similar environments to them in terms of like where they are in life. So I definitely think it's definitely helpful to be relatable. You can't try to be relatable. You just have to be relatable. You have to be open,
Okay, you've just mentioned on the fact that being interactive sometimes does take a toll on you. How do you balance that, and what's the conversations that you have with yourself? Do you say to yourself, hey Irene, like, okay, I've been online too long, I need to sort of like log off for a little bit? Like, what's that interaction like?
So recently I got told, like, I don't have to make myself accessible to everyone, and not everyone needs to be accessible to me, and I don't have to say yes to everything. Like, don't overextend yourself when it comes to doing stuff with people and stuff like that. So
glad you said yes to this.
Huh? Yeah.
So I'm glad you said yes to this.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I always go by like if I know the person, or it's just easy. Yes, like there's no thinking about it. It's just the quick. Yeah, I'm doing that kind of thing. But when it's like, for example, let's say a brand comes to you, whatever the case is, and I'm still trying to figure out the whole payment and doing stuff for free thing. So if they're coming to you on a gifting basis, which means to give you something for free, but they're giving you a long list of rules and regulations, it's more time you're going to get a no, because that's a lot of time now.
That's and for you to gift me something,
exactly, something that I probably would only use once. So it's like being able to sift through that. And in terms of interactions with people online, definitely I take breaks. I have like a burner Twitter account, I have a burner Instagram account, I have a burner Clubhouse account, I have a burner everything. So when I'm like
this is the new trap life, social media trap too.
So with my Twitter, I actually had an original one, which got to like 1.2 or 1.5k followers, right? And I was like, this is too many people, and I deleted it, and I made a burner account to go tweet on, and I ended up deleting the 1.5k one, and I moved to the burner one and changed that one to Irene, which is today at whatever, like 1,000 followers, right? So I don't always deal well with all of this. Like just last week, I wanted to go on private on my Instagram because it was just a lot. So what I do, I just make burner accounts and I go hide there for a little bit. And then when I feel like I feel better, I come back and I'm like, hey guys, miss me?
No, I definitely understand. Like, I'm not on social media, and we've discussed this a little bit. Like, it's just not healthy for me, you know. So I applaud people like you that are even able to set yourself that boundaries and stick to it. Because what I found is, I'll tell myself, log in for a week or deactivate for a week, but then I'm on the train for an hour when I'm bored, and then I'm back on it. You know what I mean? And it's like, wait, you were supposed to be off it for a week. It's been 3 days. Calm down. Do you get what I mean? And then you're annoyed, and I'm like, what are you annoyed about? You're choosing to be annoyed now. Do you get what I mean? Because you're choosing to enter. So, do you think you've had to sort of learn that? But what has helped you like learn to really set yourself some boundaries, whether it's creating burner accounts or just ghosting, and then sticking to it so that it's working for you and you're not a slave to the trade, as they say?
I mean, with me, I have loads of different interests. So even if I do take a step back and I don't go on burners, I'll read a book, or I'll watch some anime, or I'll listen to some podcasts. I'll just fill in the gaps with something else, or listen to some music, you know?
Yes. Totally unrelated. I am so sorry, people, but I'm starting a book club. Care to join? I'm putting you on the spot. Care to join?
Depends what kind of books you're reading.
It's self-development and fiction.
You almost lost me at the self-development. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but it's hip self-development. Like, have you heard of Brené Brown? Vulnerability, courage.
No.
Brené Brown. I'll send you the link after this interview. I'll send you loads of her work. I think you would love her. She talks about comparing vulnerability to courage and how it's like basically the same thing. And she's amazing, but I also love my fiction because self-development, you can read 1 or 2 pages and you're like, wow, this was mentally exhausting. Do you know what I mean? And then you need fiction to be like, to just listen, what's going on.
I need me some fiction. I know you remember the Wattpad days. Like, I need me some fiction.
No, trust me, my book collection is...
Are you in this chapter yet?
No, this is what we're reading at the moment. I mean, at the moment, I'm shamefully plugging. It's only me and my sister at the moment in this book club, but I'm so heavily trying to recruit. And this is what we're reading. I don't know, how do people do this? Mostly dead things.
Okay.
And basically it's about a family who experiences tragic death, but it brings about so many different secrets and stuff like that, and it is very interesting. Like, it's I don't want to ruin it, but
I've read something similar. Let me get mine, hold on.
No, I love it.
This is called Ghana. So I read a lot of books that I would buy Black or African authors because I like to see myself in the stories, right?
Yeah.
So
yes,
I have a little bookshelf, loads of little like Ghanaian Nigerians. Anyway, so this is Ghana Must Go. I believe the author is
nice. It's actually called Ghana Must Go.
Yeah,
I remember we used to talk about those bags in schools and stuff like that.
It's not based on that, but there's a little snippet. There's a little snippet of it in there, and this is also based on a family death, which sort of the family was dispersed because of the guy. The dad dies. His departure from the family causes them to spread, like to be apart, and then his death brings them back together. And I think that's so poetic that he left the family, it broke the family, and then he died, and then everyone came back together again. And that's basically, we go through the journey of them dispersing and then them coming back together through the departure and the death of the father. And then they visit Ghana. We just see life through like how everything affected each one of the children. And yeah, it's really poetic though. It's not very straightforward.
Wow, but when you said that, let me see it again.
It's Ghana Must Go.
Ghana Must Go. Selassie. Oh wow, I love it.
Yeah,
I'll definitely check it out. I am trying to get into my support Black business, you know. I'm trying to get into that, so I'm definitely trying to veer away and trying to move into like my Black books and Black authors and that. So I'll definitely give that a check out.
Yeah, I'm down for the book club, like, but I need to finish my book first, because if I don't finish my book first, then I won't forgive myself.
That's why, you know, if in this 2021, anything that we have is time.
Literally.
You know, it might
until June 21st.
Yes. Until June 21st, inshallah, everything goes in God's name. But we have time. And actually, talking about time, so as well as being a content creator, you also work. Now, talk to me a little bit about that balance, you know, about having, like you said previously, you have 3 days off and 3 days off. Even though you still have a solid 3 days off, you must still be recuperating sometimes from being at work. So how do you balance content creating and still being at a place where you are committing to things that you've already agreed to?
So I actually only just changed into that 3-on-3 off. Before I was doing 40 hours a week, which could be consisting of Monday, Friday, 8-5, or Monday to Saturday, 11-8. And then that was just long. My commute's an hour to an hour and a half long. So that's like just
and it's
long,
a public
10
transport.
Hours. Yeah, I still can't drive.
Yeah. No, that's what I just feel like public transport, you know, when you're being dropped somewhere, it's like so much easier. But public transport takes a lot out of you. You know, it's just do you know what I mean? I feel like anybody that's taking public transport knows, like, just the fact of traveling is already a shift in itself.
Exactly. And so, like, by the time I come home, I'm not trying to create no content. I just want to lay down, or I want to do house stuff. You know, I still have to clean and cook. You know, my mom's chilling in Ghana. I still have to be the woman of the house and do all these things. And so, like, my content doesn't take as much priority as I'd want it to on my time, on my free time. But then now I've come to this side of the world of 3-on-3 off. Now this week I had to do overtime, so I've not yet had my full 3 days yet. That will be next week. So at the moment, in my mind, I'm saying I'm going to do 1 day just bulk creating. So I did that last week. I took loads of pictures, made loads of content in 1 day, and then I've just been posting it here and there. So I'll be like on my way to work and I'll post something, and people will be thinking that I just took it yesterday. No,
I took it last week. When I was free.
So yeah, that's the plan. Just 1 day create, 1 day edit for if it's video content for YouTube, and then plan the posts, and then that's it. That's what I aspire to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so just wanting to know, because like I said, I'm not very social media savvy, but is posting pictures also content created then? Like, it isn't just...
I don't know. So I literally as of, I don't even know, last week started doing like pictures.
Yeah.
Because the pictures I used to post, I clocked my pattern, and it was literally 1 post a month I used to do. And I realized it was like July, this is the picture for July, this is the picture for August. I was like,
nah,
the
header for each month.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're trying to do like, I don't know, something, you know, it would be good to take more pics. I think it is content in a way, because I had someone show me some other people's posts and whatnot, and what they do, they'll do like a little fur blanket, and then she said, look, one picture she has wooden floors, the next picture she's got a fur carpet. Like she's literally put stuff around to make the picture more aesthetically pleasing. Now I usually can't be bothered for all that, so I think the most I'll do is get a nice blanket and put it down. But kudos to the girls, man, they're doing like really good pictures. Their bed looks really great, everything looks great. Me, I had to clear this little corner.
Same, you know, just to clear this little corner. I was like,
yeah, but it is content. Some people like mine's very, very simple. I'm glad I have my white background. Maybe remove the flag for aesthetic reasons.
My mom helped me do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've seen a few of my videos. My post of the little sayings on there. So
yeah, and I love your especially when you do your mukbangs. I love your African like attire and your chair and all your pillows. Did you do those yourself, or did you buy them?
The pillowcases.
Yeah, the pillowcases. Yeah.
My mum got them. I think that somebody made them for us in Ghana. I remember her saying that she took one of the original pillowcases to Ghana, and then they measured it out and then created. I'm pretty sure it was my auntie that made all my dresses, but she got them made in Ghana.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that is literally gorgeous. And even, especially when you do your Ghanaian content now, obviously I don't speak Ghanaian, I'm full Ngolan, I don't speak any Ghanaian. But when you do your cheese, I love it. I love it. And I'll tell you something. I try to do content in Lingala. It's hard. It is hard. It is hard to just, I feel like I've become westernized. I don't know what it is, but English will just be spewing out. You know what I mean? So well done you, because it's awesome.
Thank you.
It just goes to show your courage as well, because obviously, you know, we're in the UK, even though we have loads of diverse people and Ghanaians and Nigerians and Lebanese people and all these sorts, predominantly, especially for our generation, everybody speaks English. Do you know what I mean? So for you to sort of break out that mold and say, hey, this is a part of me, this is a part of me I'm proud of, this is a part of me I'm inviting you, and this is a part of me I'm going to be doing consistently. Honestly, I think that is so inspiring to the level where I try to adopt it. So well done, because I feel like that's, you know, when people are trying to copy what you're doing, that's when you've technically made it. You know, it doesn't matter what spectrum and what scale it is. When people are trying to be like, hey, I want to do a little bit of that, like, that is amazing. So you should be really well done. And I said this at the beginning, like, you're very diverse. You're not just a content creator. You do so many different things, whether it's being in a music video, whether it's posting very lovely pictures, or whether it's content creating. And this music video, tell to me about it, you know. So obviously you were modeling in a video called Millennium by, please do not kill me for saying this wrong, but Modiwa and Daniel Herrera and Lingerman. So talk to me a little bit about how that came about, by the way. And you look good, sis. Like, I've talked about this before, but you look good. Like,
Thank you.
Good.
So basically Daniel, we followed each other on Twitter first. He's Ghanaian as well, and he comes from Holland as well. I think so. So one of my friends, he does something called Real Gospel Clash, where they get like, you know, like NS10v10. Have you heard of that?
Yes. So
it's something like that. They do 10 songs, 2 gospel artists. So we must have been within the tweets or something. We followed each other. And then at some random point, he was like, oh, I'm shooting a video for this song and I want you to be in it. This is the idea, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, sure. So then, they made me, I felt like the outfit, I just felt like a princess of like one traditional something. And I was just walking around like this.
You know
the girls were really nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Had my cream. I had to moisturize my shoulder very well.
Butter, baby.
Yes. Give some Ari. So the girls were really nice. Like at first I was really, really shy and reserved because I didn't know anybody. When I'm somewhere where I don't know anyone, I'm gonna just be like
yeah, I know.
So I was really shy, but then I broke up. I became more comfortable. There was pizza, and then I became even more comfortable.
Pizza, that's Irene's name all over it. They had you.
So it was just really calm. Like it was a really fun day. I think it was just it was nice vibes. It was nice to see all the other girls as well. We were hyping them up, like, you look really good, girl. Like,
yes, yeah, support each other.
It was good vibes there.
Oh,